Hi everyone, this is Eric Van Buskirk. I'm going to talk about the method that I'm using to research latent semantic indexed words in Google's search. And if you're not familiar with this concept of LSI or latent semantic indexing, it's a good idea to get some basic idea of that before watching these videos. In the case of the one we're looking at now, I'm actually examining the way in which Google finds associations for the theme of the semantic web and for searches that pertain to the semantic web. So what you have here is you have the number of associations for different keywords, how many times they're found on search result pages that are ranking for our theme. So I start with these very central words like, the semantic web, and I see what the top 20 result pages are in the SERP, and then I go on to look at, with each of those 20 pages, what other words are ranking in Google search that also have some decent keyword volume. So they're going to be words that are of some use to us. And you can see, for example, the twos here. This is not just, by the way, from that one core central word or phrase that I searched, but really from 4 that I used. And you'll see more about what those are later. And so these are the co-occurring times that these words are appearing on the many different result pages. And so obviously the ones with the 13, this is very much in the center and related to what we are researching. One of the most interesting ways of thinking of this is to think about the rings of association that we measure, which go outward in proximity to this central idea, whatever it is that we're looking for. In this case, it's LSI related. It could be that we're looking for the associations to an iPhone 6. And again, so the center ring would be the 13 because there's so many similarities found. And as you go outward, I mean, these are not arranged in that sort of circular way, but you can envision how that would work. When you get to the most peripheral area, they only appear twice of the many ranked pages. So they don't have as much association to what we're examining. There's a number of ways of looking at how we want to describe what we're doing here. I think the idea of a core theme is the easiest. You might also think of stem words. I'm not sure that the idea of a tail and the head keywords is good because it kind of just implies search volume, and that's not what this is about. This is more about what's closest, even though it may be something not very commonly searched, but what's closest to the central theme that we're looking at. And with traditional SEO, we have knowledge of synonyms or phrases or things that are related that are deemed similar via a kind of research into occurrences that is not really reverse engineering Google's result pages, as I'm doing here, to see what their algorithm determines as a level of similarity. So it's really far more precise what we're looking at here than any of the more traditional ways of looking at associations. So we are reverse engineering Google's examination of co-occurrences, words in different documents on the web to find their relationships. This basically pulls back the curtain, so to speak, from the wizard. I don't know who exactly the wizard is at Google. I think at this point there's probably hundreds of them, to see what he's found, what they've found. So Google is probably the most intelligent computer learning system of any company in the world, right? Because they're examining billions of documents on the web. When you're looking at one theme, there's probably a smaller number of pages that could possibly relate. But nevertheless, they're also learning all kinds of things about other words that could appear here that they've learned from all kinds of documents all over the web that may have nothing to do with our theme. The results that I'm getting here from SEMrush API modules I developed, and formatting the data tables is time consuming, depending on how much you can automate. In my case, I have automated quite a bit. However, all of this can be done on a smaller scale within SEMrush's interface, for example, by comparing just 2 landing pages. So that's all for now. I'm going to, in the next video, talk a little more about why we're doing this and what you're seeing here. Some other examples of these associations that are being found when we do the research.